The repressions imposed under Trump in the United States continue. The US president has now also set his eyes on universities and wants to control, among other things, what is taught and who goes in and out of them. The renowned Harvard University has already indicated that it does not want to bow to Trump's restrictions. But it is not only Harvard where things are getting hot, there is also a crackdown on migration policy. There were raids and deportations in increased numbers, although in some cases these had already been stopped by the judges for the time being. According to the Trump administration, however, the court order came too late to stop some of the flights. There are also initial protests to bring back the deportees. And as if that isn't enough, there was a scandal in the White House on February 28. President Zelensky was visiting and was literally paraded in the Oval Office in front of the assembled press. Not only Vice President J.D. Vance attacked the Ukrainian president, but also Trump himself. Zelensky should be more grateful and would be nothing without the help of the US. The Ukrainian president hardly had a word. The visit ended quite quickly, and instead of staying longer, Zelensky left almost immediately. Many observers saw this as a staged scandal that is unlikely to have improved relations between the two nations. At the end of February, as expected, there were new elections in Germany. As also predicted, the CDU/CSU with Friedrich Merz at the helm emerged as the winner. However, the party had hoped for a somewhat clearer lead, with 30% or more. In the end, it was only 28%. The AfD became the second strongest party with 20%, but had not gained as much as the forecast suggested. The SPD, on the other hand, is punished with 16%. This was also expected, since the increasing dissatisfaction with the government was one of the causes of these new elections. Merz is facing challenging times, not only with regard to the war in Ukraine but also the war in Gaza. For the time being, however, it will be the intention of the next chancellor to put together a stable government coalition. Since the established parties refused to form a coalition with the AfD, there will probably be a coalition of the CDU and SPD. We remember the Bell riots of last September, which ended in the abolition of the sanctuary districts. The disastrous and catastrophic conditions under which the people had to live there became public at the time, and President Biden immediately ordered their abolition. Since then, the people living there have been reintegrated into society to some extent through organizations like USAID, or at least the foundation has been laid for most of them. Comprehensive reintegration programs are underway or have already been completed. Now, however, Trump has dissolved USAID and is pursuing a tougher migration policy than his predecessor. This not only leads to the fact that many people who have been rescued from the sanctuary districts are afraid of what will become of them and whether they will perhaps be brought back. This is ironic in a way, as it was during Trump's first term in office that the sanctuary districts were introduced in the first place. Nevertheless, a repatriation seems unlikely, at least as long as the eyes of the public are on the sanctuary districts. Since many of the fortifications have also been dismantled in the meantime, reincarceration is likely to be an expensive undertaking. Rumors say, however, that the people arrested by the raids against the illegal immigrants are initially housed in former sanctuary districts. If you can't fly them out, someone in the government is quoted, "We have to put them there." Just a few weeks ago, there had been court orders against rapid deportation, against which the Trump administration had sued. Either way, the world will keep an eye on developments in the US.